Hi everyone, hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, I'm back in my own house, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about my experience in Alaska. It's funny though, you know how Seattle has this reputation as being a rainy city all the time kind of thing, because it's on the coast, it's near the mountain, etc. And I remember that, especially like from the old television show Frasier, right? It used to be always saying how it's raining all the time. But on my visits to Alaska, I went from Seattle to Alaska, back to Seattle, then from Seattle to Alaska and back to Seattle again. And the only time I had sunshine were the 2 days I was in Seattle. So it kind of bucking the odds there. So it just goes to show, yeah, sometimes it's strange the way things work out. But Alaska was a lot of fun, and I met some amazing people on the cruise. My friends from a previous cruise came on board, and they got me my mug. It says, Don's Family Vacations. Have a fantastic day. And then I met some other people who got me another mug here. And a couple of, and that's people who just show up on the cruise because they knew I was on the cruise and say, oh, we have something for you. And that's amazing. And it was fun seeing some old friends again. It was fun meeting new friends again. It really is an experience to just get. It's like whenever I get on a cruise ship now, it's like I'm walking into a place that I'm always known. You know, the show Cheers. You know how Norm walks into the bar and Norm. Well, I feel like that when I'm on cruises, and it's amazing. It really is. It just, I'm home, everybody. I'm home when I'm on a cruise ship, and that's kind of what that feels. And not only do the people on the cruise who run into me and we talk and we laugh, we sit down at the theaters together and we watch the shows together. We sometimes just have coffee down in the piazzas areas and the coffee shops, and just talk for half hour or 45 minutes just about cruising and how much fun it is, etc. That's a lot of fun. And then because this cruise was about 60% capacity, I was able to talk to a lot of the crew members on board, and because they were basically at a full crew for most part. And I would go up to the buffet at night, and there'd only be a few passengers up there, and that's when the crew members got to be more themselves, right? Because there's not a lot of passengers. They're not running around to help people. They're not. We got to run over there and get that table cleaned up. We got to sanitize it. We got to go and do this. We got to get a drink for that person. They didn't have to do that when it's really sparsely filled. And they were just waiting for a passenger to leave a table or something and then run over. But I got to spend more time with them and just say hi. And a lot of them talked about the countries they come from, and their experience during the pandemic of being home, and how they were unsure when they were going to get back to work. All these things that some of it was almost heartbreaking in a way, to hear how the struggles were going on. But the uplifting part was when they started talking about finally getting word that they're getting back on the ship and getting back to work. And the very first thing they did when they got their first money is to send money home to support the families and things like that. It's very uplifting to hear that. And so I just wanted to come on board and just say, you know what, if you're going to go on any kind of vacation, or if you're going out to a restaurant or anything, and you meet somebody who has to deal with the public, and it's been a rough time, the hotel industry, the restaurant industry. In some country, in some places in the United States, the restaurant industry didn't get hit much because they only shut down for a little time, and then they reopened, at least in some capacity. In other parts, like a lot of places here in Canada, we are still at 50% capacity. We're still wearing masks. And so a lot of restaurants have gone under, and a lot of people have been sparsely worked and or overworked when they do open. It's time to maybe if you're in a position where you can, give that a little extra in the tip, or even a smile and a thank you when you're dealing with some people, front desk clerks at hotels, etc. Just try and remember some of the hard times that a lot of these people have had gone through, because when I heard all these stories and conversations with crew members on board, it was very eye-opening for me. The real struggles, not just in North America, but the struggles around the world with what's going on. And in particularly, no one can possibly say that the one industry that has been hit the hardest has been the cruise industry. It's definitely right up there with any other industry you can think of. So I think I overdid my tipping, to be honest, on this cruise. How normally you'd go on a cruise and you get on a shore excursion, you drop here's $2 to the driver or $5. Yeah, I was overdoing that, but I was just so happy to be back. I was just so happy and so thrilled at the smiles and the joy that all of these people I met on the cruise and all the cruise ship crew members and everything they were so happy to be back to work. And, in all honesty, it inspired me more to keep doing all these things that I do and keep going on cruises and meet more people, because they were absolutely amazing. And I thank them from the bottom of my heart for sticking in there and coming back to an industry that I absolutely love. And, I'm not going to be that person who's going to go out, and if there's a restriction at the door that I have to do something, I'm not going to be that person who argues and fights with a worker who's just doing their job, right? I'm not going to go in and raise heck and throw my mask on the floor and say, I demand my rights, because that person has nothing to do with it. A person standing at the door has nothing to do with it. A hotel clerk has nothing to do with it. An airline hostess has nothing to do with it. That's a higher decision and should never be taken out on just somebody trying to get by. So I really appreciate that they're back, and I can tell in their faces and their stories how much being back meant to them, even more than it means to me.